Media availability more than Keith Randolph?
Say it again?
Does anyone like doing this more than you on the team?
No, I really don't like doing this, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, you're back.
Yeah, I am.
Talk about that decision. What went into it?
Just starting off high. A lot of things went into it for real. Just looking at my season, my past season, what the league thought of me, talking to Coach B, talking to Johnny, talking to my parents, and just giving it to God, praying to Him. I just feel like it was my calling to come back here and give Illinois another year. So.
Johnny, kind of talking to him, what was that dialogue kind of like? I know you guys each kind of had your own kind of timelines on this season.
I'll show you. Yo, what up, bro? Dude, what you gonna do? Bro, I don't know. Bro, if you come back, sure, I'll come back. All right. And that was it, He told me he was on the, he was thinking about leaving, coming back. I was thinking about leaving, coming back. We talked on the phone every day, unfortunately, but, and we just came to the decision to come back to Illinois, so.
What can you two do to build off of a year ago? What do you think you two can become together in the middle of that defense?
Just keep getting better, keep building. I feel like the first year under Coach B was us, putting our first step to the door. I feel like last year it was us putting our second step to the door. Hopefully this year we can just close the door and, let it be known that, we are who we are, so.
Keith, the back end of the defense was really good last year. Do you feel like the focus has shifted a little bit to the front this year?
Not necessarily. I feel like the focus is just the defense in general. We have young guys back there, but those guys can play. You throw out names like Matt Bailey, Xavier Scott, Tyler Strain. All those guys can play ball. They just haven't had the opportunity because, like you said, we've had a great back end last year. But those guys can play, so I'm just excited for their future.
You feel like your room has transformed since Coach B got here? Like, I remember it was basically just you and Johnny at first, like in your room, and you guys have gotten big athletic bodies that have been able to transform that room.
Yeah, I mean, we've always had bodies in there like Calvin Avery.
Sure.
He had a great year last year. T.R. Edwards, he was still in there a little bit. So Seb McConnell, a young guy who has been in that room, just hasn't really had that opportunity because Johnny and I are in there. But yeah, we've got guys that can play. But just Coach Jambo and Coach B is just, I feel like they've taken all of us to a new level. You guys don't see like the spring practices and the fall camps and the regular season practices, but like those guys just like they can just flat out ball. So I know when they get the opportunity, they'll make the best of it. So.
Can you get us in? Can you tell the question?
Get us in the practice? No, I can't do that. I got the cameras and stuff. I can't get y'all in there.
For those of us who don't know, which is all of us, what is the process like when you hear from the NFL as you're debating that? Like, how many phone calls? What can you kind of take us into what that looks like?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. After the Northwestern game, I talked to Coach B, Coach Jambo, Johnny, and Coach Henry every day. For a week straight, and you submit this grade to the NFL, and they basically tell you where they think you'll end up, so you get that back and you just make a decision from there, and you got people in your corner to talk to. For me, I was praying to God, and my mom and dad were there helping me a lot with the decision, so that's really how it is.
Did it tell you what they wanted to see?
Yeah, of course.
What are some of those things they want to see out of you?
Just consistency. That's pretty much what it is. So that was really a big reason for me on why I wanted to come back to school, because that's not like something that can be taught, if that makes sense. It's more so an internal thing. So that's something I have to prove, not just to the coaching staff, the NFL, but to myself. So.
Calvin's moving on. Who's repping there at the nose tackle? What have you seen from those guys?
We've got T.R. Edwards, the transfer, Denzel. Those two guys, they come to work every day, work hard, and they just trying to get better. Before Calvin, it was Rod, and Rod had big shoes to fill. Calvin had big shoes to fill when Rod left, and I feel like Calvin came in there, worked his ass off, and there was no drop off. So now Calvin's gone. We got T.R., we got Denzel. So I'm just excited to see what those guys can do. I already know that they can ball, but I'm just excited for them to show the world what they can do.
How important is that guy in what you and Johnny are able to do?
Oh yeah, without him, I'm not. Without any of the guys on the team, I'm not Keith. You know, but like we're on the line of scrimmage together, so it's a bigger emphasis. He does all the dirty work. You know, he's a junkyard dog. He does all the hard work to make me and Johnny look pretty. So Calvin, if you see this, I love you, bro. I appreciate you. You know, he doesn't get the praise, doesn't get the glory, but you know, he deserves that.
Two similar dirty work kind of guy.
Yeah, he's from Northwestern, so you know, I can't give him that title yet, but you know, he works hard, man. He's a hard worker, and I just love him. You know, he comes in, works every day. You know, he just tries to elevate the standard. So.
If Johnny had said, "I'm going, I'm leaving," would you have been gone too? Is that fair? Were you guys kind of a package deal?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe not. You know, I don't know. It's a great question, though.
I'll ask the flip. Johnny's wasn't yesterday or the other day. He wasn't willing to give you credit for being a good recruiter and getting him back. Just was that you feel like you brought a guy back?
No, not necessarily. What is he talking about? No, not necessarily. No. I just told him what it was. He told me what it was. You know, I feel like we didn't necessarily come to a decision together.
Sure.
We were influences on each other's decisions. I'll say that.
What is the standard? How has that standard of the defense changed, I guess, over the course of the last years? You have to put up the numbers.
Yeah. Okay. It's just the standards just elevated. I feel like every day, you know, it gets higher. It has to get higher to be the best. We've got guys in that room, that defensive room, that can just play ball. So every day, you know, we try to elevate the standard, you know. So I feel like that's important. There's not just one base. Hey, you guys, this is where we get to be. I feel like every day it just gets higher and higher. So not just as a defense, but as a team as well. So.
Have you worked at all with Coach Bolin on some pass rush specifics there?
Not one-on-one,
Okay.
but you know, I work with Coach Jambo, you know. But I always, you know, peep down there and see what they're doing down there, because as you guys know, I was a defensive end back in my day. But you know, I've talked to him. We talked one-on-one. He's a great person, great coach. He has that, you know, NFL experience. So I'm just excited to be around him and his guys, you know. So.
Keith, how much different is the defense going to look with Coach Henry in charge? Is it going to be a lot? Will it look the same when you guys start this year, or will it very different? Tell me what you think what it'll look like.
When you say different, like what
Just
do you mean?
like scheme-wise, anything you guys are going to do drastically different?
Come on, man, you're better than that.
No, but you think it'll look like, would the average person know what you guys are doing different as opposed to you?
Okay, so instead of 31, there'll be somebody instead of 31. Instead of 30 back there, there'll be somebody for him. Instead of 93 in the middle.
Right, other than that,
I don't know.
we'll see.
Good question, though.
What was bowl prep like with Coach Henry? Did you guys get a good sense of what that's going to be like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, it was fun, man. He's energetic. He's a great guy, great coach. You know, I'm just excited for him. You know, it was a lot of fun. You know, we were in his state, so you couldn't, you know, shut up any of the Florida guys. You know, we were in their state, so. But yeah, I feel like he was in his element. We were in Tampa, so you know, it was just a great experience.
Keith, with some of those really close losses, and then the way the season ended in the bowl game, do you feel like the team has a little bit of a chip on its shoulder coming into the spring and heading into next season?
I feel like we've always had that chip on our shoulder. Like Coach B has instilled in us, it's Illinois versus everybody. So, you know, we all have a chip on our shoulder already. But those games that we lost, you know, of course, it makes it, you know, the chips, like even more chips on our shoulders. So, and knowing that we lost all those games by, you know, a score or less, I feel like that just motivates the players, you know, just, you know, to get back there and win those tough moments. So.
As the flip side, last year you guys led the country in scoring defense, which I assume that's the whole goal, right? How important is it for you guys to repeat that? I guess that's going to be first, right?
I don't think like we don't come in saying, "Oh, we number one others." Just do our job and just be us. You know, just be Illinois defense. You know, whether that's, you know, number one, number two, whatever. Just for us to do our job. You know, and that's just what's important. That's what the most important job is. So.